I got into coaching begrudgingly. I met my first coach when I was a really young attorney, starting off at a big national firm. And initially, I was really doubtful of this whole coaching thing and thought it was kind of a ridiculous way to spend my money. And so off I went. And then 4 or 5 years later, I finally realized that as my career was crumbling around me and my mental health was really struggling and my marriage was falling apart at the same time, I realized that there were a lot of parallels between how I was and wasn't showing up for myself in each of those scenarios. And then add to that, I had just gotten hired as a fourth-year associate to go to a competitor firm and build a practice group from the ground up. And so then I kind of realized, like, not only am I seeing some issues that I have that are not creating the life that I want, but I have this other really big task ahead of me, and I don't want to show up that way there and create the same problems. And so that was when I finally decided just to bite the bullet and sign up to coach with her. When I saw what coaching was doing for my career and all of the big things that I was able to accomplish, and as I was starting to build a team of lawyers, I wanted the young attorneys to have access to the skills that I developed through coaching. And I wanted them to learn how to take care of themselves and how to have a thriving practice from day one. And so when I left private practice and went in-house, I realized I want to continue to give back to the legal community in that way and provide more access to coaching so that others can benefit from it in the same way that I have. When I finally went all in with coaching and hired my coach to help me build this practice group at a new firm, we really went all in. And she had me having conversations with the board and senior attorneys that I never thought I'd be capable of having, and standing up for myself and my team in a way that felt really inaccessible to me at the time. She really helped me learn how to show up and sell my legal services authentically, but also successfully. So during that first year that I was working with her, I was traveling all over the country selling myself, a fourth-year attorney, to these publicly traded companies, and they were buying it. And I was publishing articles in trade magazines, and then I was invited to teach at a law school, and then I was invited to teach at a business school, and everything just kind of spun out of control quickly. And I had so much more work and more clients than I knew what to do with. And so from there, she helped me navigate, how do I bring on partners from other firms in the area and bring them on my team, even though they're 20 and 30 years my senior? How can I bring them in, garner trust in that relationship, and have them work with me to make this even bigger? And that was when the practice group really took a turn and started to grow even more quickly. From there, I transitioned my practice in-house with a Fortune 300 company, and then started building this coaching business at the same time. So it's been a really massive evolution of my career that's happened so quickly. And I truly think that the reason I've been able to find those successes so fast is because of her, and is because she pushed me to do things that I didn't want to do, but I did them because I understood why they were important, and I respected her enough to follow through. My coaching work really spans the gamut of topics, and I'm a firm believer that how we do one thing is how we do all things. And I personally really learned to understand that as I was going through a divorce and changing firms and getting away from a toxic law firm as well as a toxic marriage. I started to see that the problems I was having professionally were not that dissimilar from the problems I was having at home in that relationship. And so coaching is often brought about by one aspect of our life, but it's rare that our coaching work doesn't expand into all areas of our lives, because of how habitual we are in how we're showing up in all those areas of our life. But that being said, a lot of the attorneys that I work with struggle with feeling overwhelmed and having too much to do, wanting some purpose and meaning in their work when they start to realize, like, this is not exactly how I thought lawyering was going to be. And now I need to figure out how the heck do I move forward since I'm here and I have all of this debt and all this time wrapped up in this job. So a lot of the work that we do is just navigating those very basic questions of who am I and what do I want and how do I want to show up in this job, or has this job run its course and now I need to navigate elsewhere. Underneath all of that are very basic day-to-day skills that we hone. How do you have those difficult conversations with people? How do you stand up for yourself authentically? How do we calm that chatter in our brain that's always worrying about failing or what other people are thinking about us, or if other people are judging us? Attendant to all of that is, people pleasing, imposter syndrome, and perfectionism. Those are all very common challenges that we work through in nearly all of my coaching sessions. One of the advantages that I have as a coach is that I am still a practicing attorney, so I understand the struggles of balance and client pressures that are put upon us. But also everything that I work through with my clients, whether they're changing firms or going in-house or if they want to teach or get out of law altogether, I've done all of those things. I've built a team. I've built a practice group. I know how to get clients. And so having someone that understands the legal profession, but has also done all of those things is tremendously valuable. And for me, my coach was the same way. She built her own firm. She's a practicing lawyer. And that's why I think the results that we created together were so successful. I have been really honored and really humbled to support my clients in some pretty significant achievements. I have several clients who have made partner early because we figured out how to have those conversations with the firm and give them credit for some of their non-traditional legal experience that they were bringing to the table. I've had clients get appointments to judicial positions by the governors in their states. I've supported them in navigating that whole congressional vetting process that most states require those nominees to go through. I have clients who are publishing books, clients who are pivoting away from the legal industry, those who are pivoting away from their specialty and starting from scratch in a new specialty late in their career. Clients who have been practicing only a few years and they want to start their own firms. It's not uncommon for me to support my clients through having children and learning how to navigate that life in addition to their professional life. At the other end of the spectrum, I've had clients figure out how to plan and enjoy a wedding while working crazy hours that we do as attorneys. Similarly, I've had clients needing support navigating a divorce or the loss of a parent while maintaining their practice. And so you can see that there really is no limit on the type of work that we do in coaching. When a client starts working with me, one of the things that we start getting at right away is, what is it that you want? What's working and what's not working? And how can we start taking steps to change that? And so I let my clients always bring the goals with them, and then we mold our coaching together around those particular goals. I think the one thing that people really need to understand about coaching is that it truly is caring for a larger investment, and that is your legal degree, but also you as the lawyer. In our lives, we spend so much money on other investments. We buy houses and we buy cars, and when we make those investments, we know there will be additional expenditures towards those investments to make sure that they operate the way that they should. We'll take the car to the shop periodically, or we'll do maintenance on the home to ensure that it remains standing and ensure that the car remains running. We go into those investments knowing that that's part of it. But then when you think about the amount of money that we spend on our career, to going to law school, getting that degree, once we start practicing, it's really hard for people to make the leap and see that this is also an investment that we have to continually reinvest in to ensure that it pays out the way that we want it to. Because a lot of times what I see when I work with a new client is they haven't been caring for themselves, that key investment. And so when they start working with me, they've got one foot out the door. That investment is falling apart because they haven't been caring for it. So what I think is important for people to recognize about coaching is that it is a way to care for that investment so that you don't walk yourself right out the door and burn the whole investment down on the way. When I was a young attorney, I really wanted a partner at my firm to sit down with me and really mentor me and help me understand, what does it mean when I get this kind of negative feedback? Why can't I focus? Why am I feeling overwhelmed. And how do I really advance my career? How do I market? How do I network? All of those things. I really wanted someone to sit down and have that conversation with me openly and honestly. And I know that for myself and many of my clients, that wasn't available to them. And so when you think about if a partner were to do that, what would be the cost to the firm of that associate attorney, of that partner? What's the hourly rate and the hourly expenditure to have that relationship with someone at the firm? That's how I kind of think about and price my coaching practice, because I aim to fulfill that need. And as someone who's been a partner and founded my own group and founded my own firm, I value my time the same way. I also think about all the money that I have spent on like specialty gyms and trainers and CrossFit gyms and yoga gyms and cycling gyms and meal order companies that send me healthy meals every month. I think about all the money I spent on those things and try and compare it to how much I've spent on coaching over the years, and realizing that one has paid off tenfold and one I typically didn't show up for, and it ended up being just a wasted investment. And so I like to think about, gosh, I have spent way more money and just wasted it on other things that never really yielded me the results that I wanted. I think the biggest indicator of whether or not someone is successful in achieving their goals through coaching is their degree of commitment and follow through. Coaching is a symbiotic relationship, and outside of our time together, my clients invest in themselves and they do the work and they take the time to really implement the things that we talk about. And so I always say, I want to have a coaching consult with people so that I can gauge their level of commitment in doing this work. Because if you're not committed, I don't want to work with you. And I would rather have you not sign up for coaching today and wait until you're ready to go all in, because I don't want to waste my time or your time if you're not ready. So one thing I will really encourage you to do is ask yourself, how invested are you in actually making a change? And then from there, your results are going to be in direct correlation to that level of commitment. When someone signs up to coach with me, they're going to purchase a package of sessions, 6, 12, 18 or more sessions, depending upon your goals and the time you want to spend together achieving those goals. Once you sign up to work with me and you continue to work with me and you continue to renew your packages once they expire, you will always renew at the rate you originally signed up for when it comes to a full coaching package. This doesn't include introductory offers. And so every year I have to adjust my prices because I only have so much time and I can only take on so many clients. So if you are at all considering signing up for coaching, I strongly encourage you to consider making the investment sooner rather than later so that you can lock in that pricing. Once you've purchased sessions with me, they don't expire. And so you can schedule them at your convenience. If you want to meet daily, weekly, monthly, that is entirely up to you. If you want to meet every quarter or less frequently, again, that is entirely up to you. Within your coaching package, you'll have a certain number of hour-long one-on-one sessions with me, but you'll also have access to all of my online content and programs. I have 2 really significant coaching modules. One of them is changing your life, and one is finding fulfillment. When you sign up to coach with me, you're going to get immediate access to those programs, all the videos and readings and worksheets that go along with them at no additional cost.